Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another video. We have the guarantees going on right now for the champions needed for MIkage, and I thought to myself, all right, let me show you guys some of the builds that you can run for MIkage once you get her. There's multiple builds that you can run, and of course different masteries and gearing that you can do with MIkage. She's one of the best champions in the game, I would say, for many players trying to get into the end game territory, because she allows for incredible amounts of damage together with other Shadowkin champions, namely Ninja and Toshiro the Bloody are two of the best combos that you can go with her. But you can use any others like Harima, any Shadowkin that can be a damage dealer. He'll be able to be a great addition together with MIkage because of her skills, like her A1, which allows for another Shadowkin champion to attack with their default attack. This is such a good skill to have. She's got the ability to decrease the duration of enemy buffs and ally debuffs, and also increase the duration of all ally debuffs and all ally buffs by 1 turn. Fantastic skill, which basically forces you to say, okay, I gotta run her with a little bit of accuracy as well when I'm doing my attacks with her. And you can also buff up your whole team with increased attack and increased crit damage plus ally attack with this skill. So there's many different builds that you can run, different blessings that you can run with her, different masteries, different relics. It all ties in together on how good she is. She's got 2 forms. One is an amazing support, and the other is more like a PvP version of MIkage. Although the ally attack works too, the other form of MIkage is also amazing because this one allows for you to be able to control enemies. You can increase accuracy for your team and remove buffs. But you can also stun enemies if there's no buffs on them, such as the block debuffs buff. If she's fast enough to go, she can actually stun enemies and decrease their turn meter, which allows you to basically control the fight. It works very well for PvP, works very well for stuff like this skill also works for the Sand Devil. It works very well for live arena, where you are selecting on what you're doing and who you're attacking and how you're moving around with your champions. So this is why she's so good. I have 3 different builds I want to show you guys today. I won't be changing the masteries because that's obviously very expensive. And I'm just going to say the kind of masteries that you can run. So here are the builds. I'll show you guys the one I have equipped at the moment. This is the PvP build. You can run a stone skin set on her plus a pinpoint if you have it. This allows you to basically be in control of fights for PvP. And if she's fast enough, so depending on who your booster is and how high their speed is, you have to run this accordingly. So let's say your booster is at 380. You can be around the 320 mark and you should be okay, which is where I'm at. In terms of accuracy, you can definitely run higher. It's just that I wasn't moving lots of gear around. This is not my primary build for MIkage. I don't use her for PvP, but for accuracy, you would definitely need around the 600 mark to be comfortable in PvP, even with the increased accuracy buff that you can get. In terms of masteries for PvP, you would of course run Eagle Eye to help you with that accuracy target. Or if you are running something different in terms of how her turn meter control is going, you can run Oppressor. But honestly, I think Eagle Eye is the best one for PvP, and War Master is the best one for PvE, which this is the build for PvE, guys, which I'll show you guys next. In terms of relics, this one, I believe, is the one of submission is the best one because it allows you to basically reflect any stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, petrification, and sheep. So this is so good because sheep is such a problem in the game at the moment, where you basically want to have the ability to deflect it. Even if it's a chance, it's still there and still pretty good. In terms of blessings for PvP, you would probably run Polymorph yourself here. Or you would run things such as Intimidating Presence if you don't have it already, to additionally strengthen your aura for the fight, or Temporal Chains. So these are masteries that help with, these are blessings that help with PvP, basically. I'm running Phantom Touch because that is strictly PvE, and that is for the builds that I'll be showing you next. But let me show you guys on how this works. For example, in the arenas, let's try a setup right here. Let's do this as an example. So I'll show you on how the fight would have gone here. So you would have the absolute control. You would need to have a booster in there to establish control. Okay. Although Marius here can stun, what I want to show you guys is on how she would basically come into control of the fight here. So she would turn her forms, and here you would decide to stun the enemies. It's an attack, so you can do a weak hit, but it's still very strong because it also decreases turn. So here you would establish control on enemies if you do manage to land it, and that's it basically. I have a lockout champion here, but the point is, this is how you would use her. And for stuff like live arena, it works very well. The stone skin helps you be protected for that one turn if the enemies are faster than you. So that is the reason to run stone skin. That is build number 1 for MIkage, guys. Let's run build number 2 for her. Very similar build number 2 and build number 3, but I will still show them. So in terms of utility, so this is build number 2. Let's see. And I think it's actually this one, relentless. And yeah, that's correct. Let's use that so I don't use my silver. So this is build number 2. This is the relentless MIkage. Why should you be running relentless MIkage? You see, my accuracy is still about the 400 mark. My speed is about the same, but I am running a relentless set this time. So why do I run relentless? You want that utility from the multiple turns that you'll be taking. This will be decreasing this 4-turn cooldown and also this 3-turn cooldown when you're taking those extra turns. And if you can run refresh accessories, you can run an impulse set here, and you're good to go. In terms of stats, when you're doing MIkage, you're not really trying to get any damage, okay? With things such as the Chimera, you need to be sorting out your defense and your crit damage accordingly for the team to run properly, and who gets attacked accordingly during the fights on the different forms of the Chimera. So you have to have that in mind. But in terms of utility, the relentless sets allows you for that, for the reduction of your cooldowns, and it is a random thing that happens. It doesn't give you any consistency in terms of your runs. But let's say over 100 turns, over 100 times MIkage will take a turn, you'll have 18 extra turns in there. So it gives you that on average, okay? Of course, this can happen even more times, but again, each consecutive chance reduces that by 45%. So that's what happens with relentless. So the idea behind relentless MIkage is to also run refresh accessories if you have them. I don't have good enough relentless that I want to move around for MIkage to be also fast. I want her over 315 speed. So with this gear that I have at the moment, I'm just running relentless and a little bit of protection for the extra speed. But you can definitely run things such as refresh gear, which gives you that extra 5% chance to reduce your skill cooldowns. You can run impulse sets, which I have on other champions, such as my Nekmothar has a pretty similar build with an impulse plus merciless. Okay, but this reduces your cooldowns when you are dealing damage. Relentless MIkage reduces both of your cooldowns when you get that extra turn, so it's a little bit different. So it reduces both of these cooldowns, which are both very helpful when you are taking that extra turn. So it's different than running a 4-piece merciless, 2-piece impulse. I think merciless, I would be able to run her, probably an impulse, but I've never tried it on her. Although she does have multiple ways of attacking in this form. Primarily, you're using this support form on MIkage with this build, with the relentless build. And the idea is, I mean, there's no reason to showcase it, I don't think. But it is that you're getting those extra turns. I can't even show it on Chimera. I could probably show it here in my Fire Knight team and see how this works differently. Let's see on the Fire Knight team, but never tried it with relentless MIkage, but I'm assuming it's gonna work the same. I don't think it's gonna change much. I might not even get an extra turn here, guys, by the way, for this run. We'll have to see. We'll have to keep an eye on MIkage. Oh, there it is. I get an extra turn on her final attack, which didn't count, but we got one extra turn here. So it doesn't even matter here for these 2 times that she'll attack. And because these runs are relatively fast for me, like I'm under 40 seconds probably that I'll need here. Yeah, under 40 seconds. We reach the boss here. I mean, even if I get an extra turn here with MIkage, I don't think it's gonna help me that much. I will be able to use the A2 on her, but it doesn't change much here. So here, there's the ally attack. Yeah, I'm not getting an extra turn. I'm gonna get a reset here after the newts go. Gonna get a reset, and then my other ally attack is gonna go, and then MIkage is gonna go because we're gonna decrease the turn meter on the boss. So here, I think I got an extra turn there. I think that's an extra turn. Yeah, there it is. She doesn't do much because of that extra turn. It doesn't change the run so much. 120 is the clear time. You see how it helps with the fight, but it doesn't really help with the fight for Fire Knight. But for other players out there that might not be running double newt, that extra turn might be useful for you if you're running a Shadow King champion here. So some teams are running MIkage with this sort of gearing, Relentless for a Fire Knight 10, and you're running Genzin as well. So Genzin benefits from her A1. He attacks in there. He triple attacks with his default attack. And I believe Genzin is also now in the token trader, isn't he? Yeah, so you can benefit with that. So you can have that combo going if you want to. It's just that I don't need it personally for my runs. And then the final build for MIkage, guys, I'll show you, which is the one I'm using the most because it does help out a little bit. She doesn't have an insane amount of buffs, but any small thing that you can do in terms of gearing is good. In terms of accuracy, I'm not running so much accuracy in this build, but she is running 320, 100% crit rate, 167 crit damage, 200 accuracy. I could change probably the banner there to give her a little bit extra accuracy. Good stats, both on attack, defense, and health. And then protection gear basically now allows me to not only have protected buffs in case I want to use it somewhere where buffs are stripped, such as the Chimera, but also guys, it gives me 5% more damage per each buff on the champion that has the buff, right? So 2 buffs here, that's 10% extra damage, and then 1 buff here, that's another 5% extra damage when the champions with the lowest health gets this shield. Okay, so that's 3 possible buffs. She can also extend the duration of those buffs. So this is the build that you want to be running for that small little bit of extra damage, and also for her being used as a Chimera champion. So we'll probably see some players out there using MIkage in protection or Relentless. Those are the 2 builds that you're probably gonna see. So here we see Relentless MIkage. Let's see if we find more MIkages here in these different teams. So this one is Merciless and Relentless. So that's an extreme build that you can run. That's very end game to have those pieces because you need both the accessories and the normal gear. Let's see. This one's the one I saw before. There's no MIkages here. I don't use MIkage currently in my team, but I will be changing it soon. So this one's again Relentless, Feral, Merciless. So you see on how these different PvE builds are running, guys. On MIkage, protection and Relentless are the top builds, and she's just that good. It's just that it takes some time to get her going in terms of both the blessings, because blessings are so nice on her. Phantom Touch works very well for the Fire Knight, and also getting that accuracy higher, you'll need a 5-star blessing for that. So getting that accuracy higher naturally through both your area bonuses, let's say, and also your affinity bonuses, and then your faction guardians, and then your not faction guardians, your blessing. That's how you get extra accuracy, the 5-star blessing. That's when it takes you to the end game build for MIkage. So this was the video, guys. Very short in terms of the showcase, but 3 different builds that are possible for you guys to try out. Of course, you don't need to have these insane numbers, but if you're looking for end game builds, this is it. You'll need tons of speed on her, 320 plus minimum, and for PvP builds, you'll be looking at 360, 370, 380 if you're really looking for end game. If you're looking for some sort of late game build, you're looking at what I have, like 300, 320 for PvP. And then for dungeons, for the most part, you don't need to have insane amounts of speed for her to work like she does. But for Fahrenheit, you'll need at least one champion to be around the 360 mark. And for the team I showcased, I believe my Grand Old Padraig is around the 360 mark. So you can have one of the two champions that are the ally attackers being around that high speed mark. So that was the video, guys, on MIkage. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.